So I'm seeing Homeland Security, whatever, blessings to all, join the chorus together with Kamla, Israel Khan, and talking about percentage of crime. And he has been a police officer for some 30 odd years, and he have seen the worst, and he have seen this, and he have seen that. And bottom line, it is sad to say, and it feels sad to say that it's our own kind, and all that pack of rubbish that they continue to talk and measure crime by race. Some of the biggest criminals in this country from back in the days are Boise Singh, Rance Madhu, Dole Shady. All those who are convicted with drugs are talking about heavy load of trafficking from Cedars to Sandy Grande. So what are you talking about, African? These crime syndicates in this country between 2010 and 2015. I want to ask the security, whatever, while he was a police officer, if he had any information of distribution of guns under the UNC tenure between 2010 and 2015. That's why I want to ask. I want to ask the same 30-odd police years. I want to ask if under his tenure, he had information about human trafficking between 2010 and 2015. So when others stand up and talk this pack of rubbish, this pack of cesspool coming out of their mouth, you have seen the worst. Your future and Tobago haven't seen the worst. We have seen the worst by the composition of UNC ministers in this country. We have seen the worst, and it's not 30 odd years. We saw it between 2010 and 2015, and we've seen it now. The worst set of ministers in the history of this country. So let us fool ourselves and talk about African and crime. As a matter of fact, Alexander, the country is saying that the most amount of criminals right now, we want to investigate crime. The country is saying that the most amount of criminals is within the UNC. Investigate that. I go on.
Anushka Eversley may have been living a double life. The Express is reporting that a police probe has uncovered a scheme that Anushka Eversley stole guns and sold them back to the underworld. Now investigators believe that she was killed after a dispute with a fellow officer over stolen guns. The suspect wanted to steal everything. She wanted to keep things small. It's been reported by the Express that she told two officers that she will cover the charge room so that they could sleep. However, a man later arrived and they engaged in sexual activities inside the police station. A silver vehicle was parked outside. After the murder, the suspect called two men inside the police station who hauled away the guns. It's been reported that the prime suspect was a drug addict who police say is the mastermind. Please remember that these are unproven allegations, and this report is coming from an unnamed source and police investigations. Eversley is dead and cannot respond. Also remember, the suspect has a motive to deflect blame. However, I do have a few questions. If Eversley was running a theft ring for 6 to 8 months, how come no supervisor noticed? And why was she left alone at the station at night? Who allowed a civilian access to a police station after hours? And if she was a willing participant, why was she killed in such a graphic and violent manner? The real tragedy is, whether a victim, a perpetrator, or both, a woman is dead, and a police station, which is meant to protect, became a crime scene. Y'all go let me know what y'all think about this story.
Pleasant good night. So tonight we're going to recap last night's topic, especially the one with the officer that was murdered in this police station. Right? So now I see they're coming up with a news stating that the officer, I don't know if it's real or fake, was dealing in guns and drugs and all of that. I don't know how come they're now getting to hear about that. And I want to believe it's because the uncle decided he's going to do a match. The date and the time wasn't announced. From, I think he said it's from Arima to Port of Spain. right? Yeah, so I want to believe that. I want to believe her because all of a sudden now the young lady is she involved in all kind of, it is alleged that she is involved in all kind of criminal activities. Wow. This from Arima to Port of Spain. Oh boy, let me just load on this, right? Sorry about that, guys. Right? And tonight, you know, I'm gonna open up the box for you all to come out and voice all your opinion on that said topic last night, because it troubled me. Because I am a woman, you understand me? And not because I'm a woman, you know, it's not only because I'm a woman, you know, but at the end of the day, these are the people that is supposed to protect and serve us in Trinidad and Tobago, right? And if all these calamities is taking place in the police station, what next? Yes, Jim Cruz said she heard it on another live a little while ago. Yeah. So how all of a sudden the uncle decide, well, here what's going on. He going and jump out and march. And then he asked the resignation of the commissioner and Roger Alexander, the resignation of Roger Alexander and the commissioner. Boom, now, they just dump out with this news stating that the young lady was in crime. I'm going to tell you something, eh? It are things you could believe until they have solid proof of that. I could say otherwise, but I being honest, I don't really believe that. Nope, I don't. I really don't believe that. Right? You're hearing all kind of conflicting story, and what is really the truth? Then this doctor woman jump out and say it's PNM police will do that. So they want to make this a political thing. You understand? Smoke screen again. But they have to understand people not stupid, you know. So in other words, all they're trying to say is the PNM will stage that, right? Wow. Is the PNM stage that? When will it end? You understand? When will it end? I for them to throw the case, but it's still the whole of Trinidad and Tobago don't see what taking place already. And you see, tonight I would like all it to really come up in the box, eh? I want it to come up in the box and voice all your opinion on this topic. Because something like that happening in a station, and it's not today it happening, it's other instances, is all kind of things taking place, drugs going missing in various stations. This is not the first time guns gone missing in a station. You understand? And then we saw on camera where a whole set of police would have murdered a young man and paralyzed his wife in a car. And up to now, the DPP, we hear nothing from the DPP yet. So we don't know what's going on with that court matter. And this is our concern, Mr. Chatter and Mr. Paul, mute all them mic, right? We don't know what's going on. So I would like the public to come out and voice all your opinion on this. Now, when you all come up in the box, I would like all it to be very respectable. Be considerate with all your time in speaking, because you know you have other people who want to say their 2 cents on this topic, right? And you all know the time is 9:30. Okay? We will be closing off at 9:30, right? But it's troubling. Yes, and King George, yes, I would like the truth to come out, because it's too much of lies. It's too much of lies and deception. You don't know what is what, who is who. You don't know what is what, who is who. You don't know who telling the truth from who telling lies. And the government is saying that they have crime under control. And murders left, right, and center, under SOE. So what are we, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to do? Because we're not feeling safe. And I show all in the comment section, all in not feeling safe. This is too much. This is too much of plenty, you know. Too much to tell Jesus, I swear. All of a sudden, this woman dealing in drugs, and she in narcotics, and she in all kind of criminal activities. Why? Nah, man, nah, man. You see, as soon as the government of the day realized that here, and they know that it have criminal elements within the police service, and they started deal with it the correct way. That is the only how we could really put a handle on this crime situation, especially coming from the TTPS, because it have good police, it have law-abiding officers who just want to do their work and go home to their families. You understand? No, we're not yet. We're not bashing the police. At the end of the day, we're not bashing the police. But we need to state the facts. We need to call them out when they're doing wrong. Because at the end of the day, they take an oath to protect and serve, You understand? Yeah, I believe they're trying to spoil the woman's name. So until them have solid facts, then I go think otherwise. I not believing in hearsay. That song ain't too fishy. You understand, man? And I want to engage with all you. Come up in the box and voice all your opinion on that. Let me know if all you're feeling safe. What are all your concerns concerning this situation with this woman police officer that was murdered? Right? Pleasant good night, Mr. Paul.
We talking about the policewoman who they killed in San
Yes,
Fernando.
and I would like you to raise your mic. Right, go ahead. Go my mic.
Right. Remember a certain person from last night come and share something with you, and they're saying nothing. What they're saying is looking like that.
Yeah.
Right. I hear on the TV today a certain person who was come on the TV every evening 6 o'clock saying the same thing. What went down?
Well, I had to
You understand?
see that,
You understand my comment?
Right, but I had to see. I had to see proof of that. In order for me to say otherwise, I had to see proof of that.
Yeah, because I did watching that person this evening and them say they do some investigation and that is we come up with that we they come up with our went down. Something was stinging and somebody catch somebody in the act and how was it?
Good night, warrior.
Pleasant good night, chatter.
Good night to everybody on the panel, everybody on the live. Good night.
Good night.
I find this thing becoming a norm now in Trinidad, right? First, the drugs and them going missing in Shogunas. They replace the drugs and them with wood, right? Now,
Yeah.
the first thing says 64 guns and 4,000 rounds of ammunition. Now they're saying it's 100 guns going missing, right? Then after they saying today they find the woman half naked. They don't know if she was raped, right? And
Yeah, but the autopsy would show if she was raped. I don't know if they want to withhold that information because of the family may not want it to come out in the public domain.
And then after they say that how PNM police, just like how they're saying is the PNM nurses and them who causing the trouble in the country. So everything will go on bad, right? Is the PNM people they're blaming. They're putting it on PNM people. So them do a background check, right, on the police and them to see them as PNM police. Right?
Yeah.
Or they just come out and say it's PNM. They're just saying, slandering and saying it's PNM police and PNM nurses. And, well, they're blaming we know because we is PNM people. So anybody who talk against the government is PNM, right? That is basically that what they're doing. And if they know the woman was in that kind of behavior, selling guns, arms, and ammunition and things, why they didn't take action against it all the time? Why they make she a corporal?
Exactly.
Why they didn't take action against that? Because if they have evidence and know the woman, the woman doing that, why they didn't take action? Why they put she in charge of all them arms and ammunition if they know she in that kind of behavior? Because if somebody thieving by you, princess, if you have a business and you know one of your employees thieving, would you put him in charge of your vote? Would you put him in charge where your money is?
Trinity, hold on, Chatter. Trinity, I would like you to monitor the comment section for me, please. I don't want to obscene, right?
Yeah.
It's only free for someone and
And
voice
now
for their opinion.
they clicking him there to take him off. Oh, yeah, watching.
Yes. Yeah, please and thanks. I don't want no disrespect, right, on my platform, please and thanks, right? And anybody that wants to come up in the box, you can just message me in the comment section here and I'll bring you up, right? But just bear in mind, I don't want no obscene language, please and thanks. And I would like you all to be respectful towards the government that we have in power, whether we have we disagree with how they're running the country. I want no disrespect towards the Prime Minister, right? I want no disrespect towards the opposition leader as well. And I don't want no inciting of no protests and no riot because they're going to flag my platform, and I do not want that. Okay, guys? Let's be respectful. Let me keep the thing professional, right? So whoever wants to come up in the box to voice their opinion, you are free tonight. Just know that, just be, as you come up, mute your mic and be mindful that there are other people who would like to give their contribution. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Chatter.
Saying, if you have a business, right? You're running a business, and you know an employee is thieving, would you put them in charge of where the money or your valuables is? So if they know this woman wasn't, if you know this woman was involved in that kind of action, why they put you in charge of which part all them arms and ammunitions is? That just look like they're just slandering the woman's name. You understand?
Yeah.
They're just trying to make themselves look good. That way it come down to.
Yeah, but Chatter, hear me well. That ain't trying to make themselves look good because they're still looking bad. Because even if she was in that, even if, don't say what I say, even if, and this to the public, even if she was in that, she was still a police officer. So what are you trying to tell me? So they have slack police running the station, slack police in charge of overseeing the guns and ammunition. That making any sense?
Well, what they're trying to say is PNM police were doing that. So all the police were coming out and giving drivers tickets and doing all the unjust and everything is PNM police were doing that, right? That is what they're labeling them as. Right?
But that's not making sense, and that's not going to work. People not stupid, As I said last night, and I would say it again, Chatter. Long time people, that is way back before we had social media and access to cell phone, might have think that way. Because all we had was CNC3 News and TV6 and them thing. But now we have it in front of us at the tip of our finger. So no way in hell people will not believe that they are come better than that. What the government needs to do is stop playing the blame game and try to deal with the situation as best as they could in a timely manner, because the country is in chaos. The place is unstable. It is unsafe.
Because I hear the Prime Minister came out and she said it's an eternal business, it's an eternal affair. The public have no interest, we shouldn't have no interest in that. It's an eternal affair.
But that is our business. What happened? That is a... No, man. Somebody must tell she to say that. I want to believe that, because that is our interest. What goes on in Trinidad and Tobago, it affects us. People have no respect for the police again.
A police officer murdered. X amount of arms and ammunition running free. We don't know where it is right now. You understand? Every bullet is a life. Every bullet is a life. So that is 4,000 lives out there, in the hands of the criminals and them. Like 4,000 lives.
Mm-hmm. Can I just interject for a little bit? I have a question to ask.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
If the woman was a part of it, if the police officer who died was a part of it, why the gentleman who the now a little bit quiet. Why the gentleman who got arrested didn't say she was in it too because he didn't say anything.
Exactly.
Well, I was watching Ian Allen this evening because I was always watching Ian Allen, and so we up to and we get thing. And where Ian Allen saying like it's like two man was going behind her, and like one come and see she in action, and like one get jealous, and that will make that whole drama went down. I don't know. I pick up on Ian Allen, and he said he had some more evidence on Danny case too. So I don't know what really went on.
But will we ever get the truth? Will the truth ever come out? Will the truth ever surface?
The truth will never surface, but the truth will never surface.
Remember, dead man tell no tale, so
yeah,
we would never get about that.
The only person could tell the truth is that woman, and she dead. Well, how it really start?
But I want to ask the public tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, everybody in the comment section and on YouTube here, do you all feel safe? What are your thoughts on this? Tell me, because if that bothering me, right, and I today I say I'm not moving on from that topic. Because in my mind, yes, Shatta, go ahead.
Police killing police. What they will do to us? What they will do to us and our family? So how could we feel safe when police killing police? How could we feel safe? How could we trust the police when their colleagues can't trust their own? How could we feel safe? We cannot feel safe and we cannot trust the police. I have no faith and no trust in the police service right now, presently. Because you're seeing clearly they're giving you evidence that's showing you do not trust the police service because they're killing one another. So if they could kill their own colleagues in a police station, not outside and on, not home by them, in a police station, they could kill one of their own colleagues. What they will come in our house and do, what they will do us. So nowadays when you see a police officer or see a police van, you have to be I feel more safe around the criminals than a police officer right now. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but Chatter, watch how they say. As somebody said in the comment section, watch how fast they charge the police. But how come they didn't actually see what take place in that station with that officer? But why they taking so long to come to a conclusion with Justin Samaru and Kaya's situation? What are they waiting on?
But the Joshua Samaru and the thing that PNM police, that is so they not time for that.
Okay, so them running a DNA on all them people and them to know which one is PNM and which one is UNC police.
I find this blame game thing has to stop. You see this blame game thing PNM and UNC, how is we not parliament thing? That has to stop. Because at the end of the day, like everybody is supposed to be one. It don't matter if it's a PNM or UNC, and they're just continuing to go with the propaganda and the foolishness, and it all on media. And I mean, a lady lost her life by somebody she trusted who could cheat his patient. You understand? Because they say that because what the men and them say, the police and them, the other police and them say that is when they come upstairs by the dorm, they realize they were seeing blood under the door. The lady was killed by somebody she trusted in that station. Nobody ain't mad enough to run in no station. You understand? And then all the people talk about UNC.
Trinity, pick up in there, right? Here. Don't go yet. Don't come off. Don't you can unmute your mic. Now, in one instance, they said she was strangled, and then in another instance, they said she was shot in the. Which one was it? Was she strangled or was she shot in the head?
I feel that they strangled she. I feel they strangled.
Well, the day of the incident, came up.
They saw blood.
The day of the incident, the COP did come and say that she was shot in the neck area. She was shot in the neck area. Then the next day, he said that she was strangled. I don't know.
When you're
I don't know what
them
she's
might
with.
please.
Yeah, but
Beauty might
Princess,
please your
you have
when
to
you
forgive your Homeland Minister too for it. He never passed English. So we didn't think what he and understanding what he did, he just signed in name the
yes,
thing is.
because Mr. Paul, the news said that they saw blood coming from under the door. Right? That's what I heard. So if blood coming from under the door and she was strangled, when you get strangled, you ain't gonna breathe. They like to cut off your air supply so you no oxygen going in or out and you're dead. So then where all the blood come from? So then I don't know. This whole story, is that whole story there?
And they say
I
she,
don't believe
I hear them say the strangle she, I hear them say the strangle she, and then it
He
stab stabbing she head or something. So
he said that she was strangled with blunt force trauma to the head. That is what he said.
uh-huh.
Yeah, she was strangled with blunt force trauma to the head.
Oh, so she was strangled, beaten, and stabbed. So then that all that going on downstairs, right? And two other officers upstairs, and them hear she bawling. I find you see that whole story, me lining that and songing right, you know.
It was in the dorm. The dorm.
Okay.
Yeah, so could I
But
interject good
again,
night?
yes, Megatron, you can go ahead. Well, let
I
me
find
check
it
out.
like
So
Right, Mr. Megatron, go ahead.
what I am saying is we no longer could trust the relevant authorities that run in the security on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago. So I think we should get expertise now to not just
Yes,
train the TTPS, but to come in and do a proper investigation into what is happening with the authority in Trinidad and Tobago, because the lack of confidence within the service is at an all-time low. Right? I not running with no story about being shot, stabbed in the neck, what happened to she here, there, and everywhere. We are living in a 20th century, and I believe these stations and them have proper monitoring service to know what's going on, to know in and out. There's a station diary to know that if you are sent you and it change hands, you must sign over to somebody. Somebody must leave a status report on what is what and what is what. So you see this story, the believing story, I find too much of that happening in Trinidad. Every time somebody passed away who as of importance, that is when one set of ugly thing surfaces. The same thing happened with Danny Guerra. As the man come and was unalived, it was all kind of propaganda and how much murder the man was implicated in and this and that. But when he was alive, nothing was happening. So you see where the stories is concerned right now, I don't trust a story. I don't trust the media. Right now, they could give the media any sort of story to run with, and they will run with that. The only people that know the truth is the people who was involved in the crime, the person that who is no longer alive, and the people who really investigated the crime right now to some point, which is top officials. Right? This is nonsense, and I find that as a security service in Trinidad and Tobago, which is the TTPS, they could do better. This is why I should call for a revamp on all, not just municipal police stations, but all police stations, because it's not the first time things like this happen. There are instances already where officers firearm discharging stations and unalive other officers, and they make it look like an accident, but it's outright murder, but we can't say what is what. There's not the first time weapons went missing from police stations. St. Joseph had a number of firearms missing already, and public brass, everybody kick brass for a few days, and as it going on and the next big story come out, we forget about that. So we keep forgetting. This is something we go soon forget about, because something major is go happen again and they go come up, and this is what's happening. You understand? And to me, right now, the top cop and the Minister of Homeland Security need proper training on how to run the affairs and the security and doing investigation in Trinidad and Tobago. I can see the woman alive. Nobody investigate. As the woman come and passed away, they had the whole thing to say about the woman now. She was involved, she was this, she was that, she was naked. Now, people have to remember these stations and them have dorms. They don't just have dorms either too. They have bathrooms and toilet and shower quarters and things for officers, because sometimes they might have to stay on for a day or two. You never could tell. Who is to say the woman
Yeah.
went and take a shower and might be coming out and they might be bored? We don't know. So it's a set of speculation. They say finger pointing, and you see that I kind of fed up with that. I just only come clean and say this is what
And that-
happened.
Them ain't coming
And
out
that is
clean
what
and-
I find. And here what I saying, hold on, Mr. Paul. What I find is the cameras. If the camera ain't working nowhere else properly, it's in the police station, it should be functioning top of the line. And it must have a base where all the footage go into.
Well, that
You
is
understand me? And-
well, that is exactly
Go
it.
ahead.
There is a command center from all police stations that you have CCTV footage. It is directed back to that main branch, that main source. So they say they tape up the camera or they think this is the camera. You're supposed to see before anything happen at hand. You're supposed to see all who reach to that camera and block whatever, do whatever. The evidence is there. Why wait until a
Exactly.
woman lost her? Correct. Why wait until a woman lose her life, and then they're trying to discredit the woman name as she was part of a criminal organization? And we all come up with that theory. First, all they lie to the people and them at Trinidad and Tobago and say 55 guns. Then I hear 65 guns. Then I hear 100 guns. So it could be 200 guns that miss, 8,000 rounds that miss. We don't know, because there is never a clear cut of transparency in a story when it comes into investigative skills from the TTPS. TTPS already unalive their own and come out and say, well, the criminals and them do it that time, they unalive their own batch. So who are we to really trust? And then we are in a state of emergency. So we trusting that a police officer really coming to do his work, when in fact some of them coming to clean out your place, rob you, kidnap you, even divulge information to people that you might have a problem with, which is a conflict of interest. So then again, what are we doing? They need to revamp the TTPS. The TTPS needs serious revamping. If anybody could remember, 90 police officers took polygraph tests who admit to working with criminals, divulging information, having coitus with minors. These things come out already in the open and nothing is being done. It's just a slap on the wrist for the aggressor, while the victim pay the price.
So let me ask you a question. So why they stalling on doing these things? I find if it is, they say that they come to, they want to make TNT a better place. Why they not putting all these things in place? It's like they always putting the cart in front of the horse.
Because you have a minister. You have a minister of Homeland
What?
Security who is still a police officer, and he still think he under that oath where you have to cover up for one another. He not thinking as a minister of Homeland Security, he thinking as a police officer. You understand? So that is why these things will never come out. These things will never be dealt with, because he's still covering up for one another. He still feels he's a police officer.
Listen to me, it had nothing like covering up. Justice is justice. The wrong thing could never be the right thing. Hold on, Paul.
Richard,
The wrong. Paul, hold on, please, love. The wrong thing could never be the right thing. Remember, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago is looking on, And if the police station do not have law and order, what will happen to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Some years ago, I was robbed. Me and my children's father was robbed. And you know who robbed us? We were robbed by people dressed in police uniform, You hear what I telling you, with bad round the neck, We were robbed of our cash, our jewelries, everything. I almost got raped and all. You hear what I'm telling you? And they were officers, they were dressed in police uniform. So you don't know who is who. And it's not today. See, here we're going with, here what I believe going on. They know of the criminal elements within the police service, and they allow it to get out of hand. You understand? They allow it to get out of hand. So now police, uses police doing things and they don't even care no more. They don't even care. They don't have no respect for the oath. They have no respect for the badge. They don't have no respect. I find some of these officers getting on like pipers. They get on like criminals. They're more ruthless than the criminals. And they're hiding behind the badge.
But let me just say something. If Roger Alexander was there for 30-something years as a police officer, and now you're the Minister of Homeland Security, you don't know who is corrupted, who taking bribe, you don't know about them things because you was on the ground with the same officers. And you're working...
And hear me, Chatter, hear me, Masha Briggs, and Chatter, hold on. And if it is this, all what they would have said about him back then, I don't know if it was truth. I am not saying what it is I would have heard. Now is your time, if so, to make things right, to redeem yourself. It's as simple as that.
So it's alleged then. It's alleged. Everything what they said about Roger Alexander is true because if he's there now and you don't want to make a difference in the police service, because now you have the chance where you could reform the police service and without all the corrupt police, because you was on the ground, you hear things, you must know who is who.
You
and
could-
not
you could-
in a position where you could do it. So that means it's alleged. Everything what the people and them are saying is
He
true.
cannot do that. He would not do it because corruption in his head. He
No,
too
but-
corrupted.
No, but you over the
He
police.
too corrupted. He can't do it. He
No,
too
because
corrupted.
that's-
Remember, half of those officers, Shatter, half of them officers is his friends, you know. Half of them officers is his friends. So why would he go out and arrest his friends? Come on, if you mean.
All your practice using the word alleged, for me, please, eh? Practice using the word alleged. Bear in mind, all you don't have no proof, so careful how all you're talking, please.
That was the alleged.
But Prince,
It came back to the same thing I just now said.
Mr. Paul, hold on. In this country, I believe is innocent until proven guilty. So when they're talking about Mr. Roger Alexander, please use the word alleged, because all they never see him, all they only hear him. Right? All I am saying is, if that was so, now it's his time to shine. Now it's time for Mr. Roger Alexander to lace up his boots and correct the wrong. Simple. By implementing body cams, lie detector, when you catch officers committing crimes and involving criminal activities, from the time you go before the magistrate and they find you guilty, life in prison. By the time you hit about 5 or 10 of them life imprisonment, the rest will start to fall back and get in check. The ones who commit murder, like Justin Samaru, and you have it on camera, well, you know what's going on, bring back the hangman. We have to clean up Trinidad and Tobago. We can't stop here and play the blame game and say the UNC and the PNM. It's not about that no more. We have 4 more years to take out these people, which are begging God that, oh God, help we. But at the end of the day, we have to try to fix TNT because TNT is in a total mess. Go ahead,
Why-
Mr. Paulson. Chatter, hold on.
Why is it?
Give us a couple minutes.
You have to take out the head first. Because it's the effect, it's them or how them the police and them so. Because it's the head and them are corrupted. So they will make them corrupted too. Forget the police is them servant and them, you know. So they have to whatever they say,
I
they
don't
have to
believe,
do.
and let me correct you, Mr. Paul, I don't believe all the heads corrupted. It have good heads and it have bad heads. Just like in the police service, it have good police and it have bad police. Careful with all your statements.
Yes,
Right?
I ain't saying
So,
I ain't
hold on.
saying no. I ain't saying no. I ain't saying
Right,
no.
I'm just telling you.
But it
Right,
had to
but
it
I
had
would-
to
I would
it had to
like
find
it
this
to
time.
be
Yeah.
No, I don't want us to fish market tonight, please. Hold on. I would just like you to retract that and just, specify. Make sure, don't say all the corrupt, all the head. Don't say all the heads are corrupt because I've been real with not all. Not I know plenty seniors and other people, they're not on that. So kind of like retract your statement. So let me just give Mr. Glenroy a chance to say something because he was up there for a while. Right? And then after we will trickle it back down. How does that sound? Mr. Glenroy? Pleasant good night. All the way from
Greetings to everyone on the panel. Well,
Greetings.
well, you know, my way of dealing with issues is not discussing it in any way where I do see no progress. I just like to ask questions and then proceed. So I'm asking the people on the panel, right? When I hear people react to certain events that unfold in the country from a criminal perspective, like this situation that occurred, you know, a life was lost. It's a tragedy, you know. People react like this is the first time something like this took place when it comes to the police service. Like they just forget there has been many instances where police has been caught doing wrong things, kidnapping, shooting people, and trying to blame it on others. You know, this is just the movie that they just create for us. You know, give the media to put out there, let the people do what they want with it. Give them the remnants. It's like a bunch of hyenas feeding on a zebra, eat off all the flesh and leave the carcass for vultures. And people mustn't get too emotional and drawn in with sadness. Take a step back, look at what has been happening over the last how many years that you could count, because most of you are voters, not me. Most of the people are voters who are making all the noise. And the question I just ask, do we have a liberty of conscience? Do we have a point in us, a breaking point in us that to say here what? Enough is enough and we're going to fight back? We don't have to say how we're going to do it, but there has to be a strategic way of doing things, and it calls for dialogue between the people who does what they do. Because like I said before, when the people go to the polls, nobody forces them. It is done in their own free will, and nobody forces them. So when things are going wrong, how come there's no ambition or no effort to reach out to each other and solve the problem? Will we go on like this for the next 10 years to come on social media and keep talking about issues in the hope that things will change? Yeah, well, nothing is going to change. We talking cannot.
No, but we had a Mr. Glenroy, yes, I understand what you're saying here. We had to try somehow. But for now, we had to talk. Or if we stay silent, that means we accept it.
All right, I'm gonna give you a synopsis, right? 2 days, I'm using the term 2 days is enough to get the response that everybody needs. 2 days of saying no. Fine, there's an SOE in place and nobody don't want to get shot, nobody want to get pepper sprayed and rubber bullet. I respect that. But there's a different way to go about doing things. 2 days is enough to put a squeeze on everything and get the response the country needs to change the course of this madness that continues to inject viruses into the land. Because our children's life is at stake here. Not me, you know. I am hard back. I'm 40 years of age. I could live off the land. You understand what I'm saying? It's the children to come that we have to fight for. So what I'm saying is, how long will we keep complaining and debating and wishing and hoping that something is going to change? And we have to change it. We are more than them. I keep saying that. People have to take out their emotions, take out the emotional part and think. Because for the vast majority of them, they are all voters. And they have a bias as well. I always just say that. So do gambash. If we're going to act accordingly, just the way others act, to go and commit the voting. All right? I'm just saying it openly. I'm not chastising anyone. I'm just speaking generally to give light.
Yeah.
Good night.
Okay,
Good night.
so as I bring up some pleasant good night, Mr. Vijay Ram. Pleasant good night, sir.
Good night. plenty people, so I wish plenty people in Trinidad could have traveled all over the Caribbean and see how St. Lucia going and Barbados and Jamaica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, how the people down there copycatted we down here in Trinidad and how we setting a bad example with 6 and 7 and kill our boss and them. When they go down there, how these poor Caribbean countries as we studying we up here and we in top of the world up here. And now we causing everybody to fall right back down behind we when we falling down. And everybody just chastising one another and they're not trying to really seriously help one another. The problem is everybody living in poverty and they're getting enough work and plenty people need handouts. But they're not really willing to get up and get to do something, and they're not really creative too. After 2019 and COVID, plenty people get stripped. If you notice. Yeah. The place getting harder. It's not having enough work. Plenty people don't know how to do agriculture. They have land, they have this, they have all everything. But nobody to really take the leadership and show them how to do it. Everybody's saying change, change, change. But nobody want to help the people change or help nobody change. How much people are telling me to change? I try to change or how much I could change? You understand? They need a helping hand too. Somebody need to go out and advise the people and talk to them. Even with move on to them poor people are eating popoy and chicken foot curry with dumplings, all kind of sufferation. Up in B-time is spoiled food they eating from all over the dump. The people suffering. I saw auntie smelter activist from way back in the days, you know. I built camp all by UWE in the south entrance. When them fellas I out they protesting and keeping camp in the night. People sleeping in the bed comfortable like certain people. I won't call the name. Who willing to help anybody? The poor farmers them. Look all them farmers. How much who planting the crops, how much complain they have with hunters and people thieving the crops. Anybody helping them? No. Them just have to find a way and plant another crop and move on.
Right. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. So thank you very much. Don't be a stranger. All right. So you can mute your mic. Anybody else want to make a contribution?
Princess, tell me if I'm wrong, I just born in the 90s, in the early 90s I born. Me didn't know nothing much I didn't know nothing much about.
Hold on. Trinity trying to get my attention. Trinity, what you're trying to say? Trinity? All right. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead, Mr. Paul. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just born in the early 90s. Me know much about politics, history, and all those things. But to me, you will tell me if I'm wrong, You will tell me if I'm wrong what I'm going to say. But to me, in the little while I know myself living in Trinidad, I believe you see the race thing, whether there's condole in Trinidad, that is a major, major, major problem we're going through here today. Because if everybody come together and forget about the race thing, everything would be a little better than how it is now. That race thing divided everybody in Trinidad and Tobago right now. That is all I have to say, Princess.
Well, all who want to study race, that clearly shows that you're illiterate, you're dumb, you're dotish, you're deaf, and you're blind, you know. Because when you cut you and you cut me, it's the same blood. When you go into the afterlife, when they're putting you down in the ground, is everybody going 6 feet under. So people who want to dwell on race, the people who want to dwell on race, they have another thing coming. Trust me. We had to study how we fix in Trinidad and Tobago, and as the gentleman will say, People have to go and go and get a piece of land and let we start a plant. Let the government invest, get some backhoe, and clear down because time's getting hard.
So could I say something?
Yes, you
So
can, Megatron.
the governments, not government, government of Trinidad and Tobago are here to serve us. They are here to work
Yeah.
for us. What happened throughout the years, there has been a political disconnect where the political arena has get racially divided. The game gets so out of hand.
When you all hold on, Megatron, hold on. When you are not speaking, could you turn off your mic, please? Thank you. Go ahead,
So
Megatron.
there is a issue where whoever was holding governments within the years, whether red or yellow, had the duty solely to fix the problems within the country. We do have fixers. We have breakers. We have destroyers. We will have things implemented in one term, our government, and when it change hands, the next government taking away everything that was implemented. Nothing continues. So what we supposed to do with 10 steps forward, we have to figure out what we go do with 20 steps backward moving forward. There is a great division with government because government is not on the same table as serving the people. If you notice when they have parliamentary sitting, there's a lot